following podcast contains explicit language.
What's going on, Hive Minders? Welcome back to the Mind Meld, a wonderful podcast hosted by Mason Burns.
Hello.
And me, JS Price. The Mind Meld is a lovely discussion of yours and our favorite stoner thoughts, or as we like to call it, an hour of your lives that you're never going to get back.
It's going to be worth it.
It's going to be worth it. Mason.
Yep.
How was your week?
Dude, my week, it was actually pretty stellar. I'm not going to lie.
Really?
I had a very productive week up until the end, but I'll get there, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Up until the end. Pretty stellar, worked like a maniac.
Sure.
Went hard.
Mm-hmm.
Get my grind up. You know what I mean? But it was pretty good. I don't know. It was just a positive week for me. It was a positive week.
Was there like a specific highlight of that week?
I'm getting my time frame mixed up is the only thing.
If we're going from like last Monday when we recorded the first episode.
I took drugs yesterday. That was fun.
Okay. Well,
I'm literally just going to get right into the negative because it's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, dude.
I really fucked up my back.
Yeah.
I really fucked up my back.
Yeah.
The story is, in my opinion, irrelevant because I would have done it for anyone and regardless.
Sure.
But I carried a friend up the hill.
Yeah.
Very good friend, but he was intoxicated.
Yeah.
And so
we had a bonfire.
Yep.
With a big group of our friends because one of our buddies is moving to Germany for his winter quarter. Fall quarter of
the exchange.
College. Yeah. So he's coming back in the winter, but we were just kind of doing like a goodbye bonfire.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And a lot of us got like very high, very drunk.
Yep.
One of our buddies got
substances.
Super drunk.
Ripped the pineapple juice. You know what I mean? Yep. Like he said he'll never get that taste out of his mouth. So that's kind of where we're at on that. But
yeah. No,
100%. A lot of us got super drunk. I carried him up the hill. But I was like leaning a weird way. And so like I just, it was just a mistake. You know what I mean? Just in terms of how I was carrying him. But fucked up my back, which was fun. And then, I don't know, I'm an old man. I think, you know what I mean? Well, first off, before we get into this, how was your week? I got to ask you.
My week was pretty decent. It's funny because I actually want to talk about the negative of my week as well.
Oh, okay.
I had in particular, like one customer that I wanted to strangle.
Did you strangle him? Did it come to that?
Dude, this was like the first time I've had this happen though. So like
the first time? That can't even be true.
No, dude. I swear to God, this is the first time that I was like so angry that I was shaking. Like my hands were literally shaking because I was so frustrated with this guy. Yeah. So the story goes that this guy comes in, and the best way that I can describe him is, for those of you that have seen The Matrix, he looked exactly like Cypher from The Matrix, the guy with the little like shitty goatee and the mustache. Yeah. The line for a goatee and the mustache. That's exactly what and he was bald too.
I can't believe he looked like that.
He looked exactly like that, dude.
That's not a style that you see people with.
I know, because it's bad.
Were you like?
And he was like one of the villains in the movie.
Yeah, were you immediately detested? You're like, this guy's.
I was immediately like, this guy's gonna be just the worst. I can tell. So he comes in, and there's like generally 3 kinds of locks that we can get through on computers. So the first one, there's 2 kinds of locks that we can get through. The third one we can't. Mm-hmm. So if somebody locks himself out of their computer with like their passcode, generally that's pretty easy to get through, especially if it's a local account. Like if it's a local Microsoft or Apple account, you can get through it easily.
Some hacking knowledge being dropped off right now.
If they're signed in on Microsoft, then their device gets BitLocked, at which point they need a BitLocker key. And if they don't have that, then we have to reinstall the operating system.
Didn't even know that was a thing.
But still something we can do.
Yeah.
The third kind of lock, which we cannot get through just because we don't have the tools at Geek Squad in order to do it, is a BIOS lock. So that's when there's an administrative lock on the BIOS of the device, like through the motherboard. So it's not through Windows or the OS whatsoever. And there's just not a lot we can do at that point.
Yeah, you just say, hey guys, I can't do shit. Fuck off from my counter. Go somewhere else. Like, please.
So this guy comes up, he shows this to me, and I was like, I don't know how much we can do.
Yeah.
So I go back and I talk to Miguel. He's our technician at Geek Squad, and I go, have you seen this before? Like, do you know what this is? And he's like, I've seen this one other time. The one other time I've seen this, I had to tell the guy, your computer is bricked. Like, there's nothing we can do.
That shit, throw it out the window.
Yeah,
you're done.
And so I asked him, I was like, do we have any options in terms of like what we can do? And he's like, I can try a few things, but there are no promises. He's like, if you want to check in, and there's definitely some things we can try. So I go out to this guy. And I basically regurgitate that. I'm like, yeah, the last time this happened, we just had to tell you that the guy's computer was bricked, but we do have some options in terms of things that we can try, but there's no guarantees on whether it'll unlock the computer or not.
Okay.
He decides that he doesn't like that answer. Right?
He decides that we were wrong.
Yeah, basically. So he had the best way that I could like describe his mentality is like, so he purchased the laptop from us.
Mm-hmm.
So his mentality was, since I bought the product from you, I own your soul. Right?
Last time I checked, I don't know what it says in your contract.
He goes, well, as your customer, I'm not satisfied with the product that I've been sold. And so I need you to fix it. He's like, there's a protocol for getting through this. And so what I need you to do is call HP and figure out the protocol to get through this.
Oh, he just starts giving you commands.
He kept saying protocol, which was really funny. But yeah, he was commanding me. And I was like, I kept trying to say it in the nicest way possible, where I was like, sir, I promise you that if I call HP, they're going to tell me the exact same thing that they told you when you called them, which is that they can't do it over the phone. They need the laptop in person. Right?
Yeah.
And he just kept being like, that's not an acceptable answer. You need to fix this. You, Best Buy, the corporation, need to contact HP, the corporation, and figure out how to fix this. He was like, you're my advocate for HP. And I was like, you're your own advocate for HP. I'm not doing shit for you. So
you are the one that holds the white flag and says, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, so help me.
I told him at least 4 different times in like you drop your phone?
It's okay. I don't need it.
I told him at least 4 different ways in like a nice way. We can't do this. Like, it's not something that's available to us. And by the 5th time that he argued with me, I just said, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not calling HP. It's not a we can't thing anymore. It's that I'm not going to.
Honestly, fair. The thing is, right, you in that scenario for me, I literally would have straight up said no so early. Like, because I don't like being mean to people and like to customers. And so in order to avoid that problem, I just say no to them too early, to where before it like even can get to that point.
I think that's fair. So the other problem that I have, which I need to break, is and I can't help it. It's so hard sometimes. But like, these people are like adult children. They're like adult toddlers in the way that they complain and get upset. And it makes me laugh.
Oh, I love it.
And I laugh in their face. And it makes them so much more mad. And I can't. It just makes the situation a million times worse every single time.
No, I literally, when I got hired on, I was like, yeah, one of my skill sets is that I have a lot of training in de-escalating situations with children.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, it's specifically children is where my training is, though.
Yeah.
But I was like, I think old people and like people that need help with tech really fit into that category. And my boss goes, yeah, that makes sense. They are not understanding people, to say the least.
Yeah, no, like, 100%.
That's fucking crazy. No, I get it though.
So
okay,
he just goes, you know what? Like, eventually he starts cussing me. And he's like, you know what? Fine, just do whatever the fuck you need to do to figure this shit out. And I was like, okay, well, it's going to be $150. Like, right? And he goes,
work for free.
Yeah. And so he goes, well, no, I have the protection plan. And I'm like, right. So you have the protection plan that covers accidental damage and handling, where if you drop it or you get water damage, it covers physical damage, right? Software-based things like this, it doesn't cover. So these service fees need to be paid.
You know what that's a symptom of?
What?
Salesforce people lying. Like me.
Dude, how dare you?
Straight up, I literally have no idea what our warranty covers. I have no fucking idea.
Oh my God, dude.
I have no idea.
This guy's making my job harder.
People literally straight up asked me, and I was like, yeah, as long as you don't throw it down the stairs, we'll probably be fine. Dude, what I tell people.
Dude, just making my job harder. I cannot believe this guy. This guy's just admitting to making my job so much harder.
I straight up
bet this guy was one of your customers.
I hope so. So, because not only will he have started with an experience from me, he will have ended with his experience with a tail end with you in the Mind Meld. He'll know that we're on the same page, even though I don't know the page that we're on.
I hope he listens to this and he's like, this is two ends of a spectrum. I dealt with a really nice guy named Mason, and now I have to deal with this dickhead named JS. You know? So,
the only reason I'm nice because I lie. I literally lie to that guy. Like, specifically at work. I don't lie like in my personal life, right? But I don't know. I don't give a fuck about the customers that I just am willing to lie
I feel
to
like
them.
we talked about this before where you were like, the customers are like the NPCs of my life. You were like, like I'm the main character. They're just NPCs. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Like literally, will tell customers, if you want to return something, just come back and hunt me down. Come back. Make sure you come back on like Monday though. Just in case. Dude, I'll be there.
Really? I try and schedule people appointments for like pickups when I'm not going to be there because I'm like,
I don't work on Monday.
Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, dude. I'm like, you know what? My coworkers can pick this up for me. I'm not dealing with you.
I'm done dealing with it.
So, before he can even argue with me about the charges for the service, I just go, do you just want to see my manager? Is that going to be better?
Yeah. You were like,
I was like, I don't want to argue with him anymore. Fair. It's just going to be easier if my manager tells you to fuck off, right?
It's over your pay grade at this point.
He was like, I would like you to go get your manager. And as I'm walking away, he's like, I tried to make this easy for you. And I'm like, no, you didn't. And then I walked away and I like went and grabbed our manager. I brought her over. She comes over and she basically says the exact same thing that I do.
Of course.
And I don't. Like what I loved very specifically about the end of this interaction, he's like, this is fucking robbery. You guys are fucking robbing me. He's like, this is crazy that I bought a product and you guys can't fucking fix it because it's like defective or whatever. I'm like, it's not defective. In my head, I'm like, it's not defective. You fucked it up and you're a moron.
If you buy a piece of furniture and you break the leg off of that furniture, are you going to take it back to it, like wherever you bought it from and be like, I broke this leg. Like, can you please glue it back together for me? like it's not even, can you please replace it? Can you please glue it back together for me?
Exactly.
No, you're psycho.
So, my favorite part is like, you guys are fucking robbing me. This is fucking robbery. I need to decide whether I'm going to get a lawyer.
Whoa.
And I was like, and
I hope he left deciding no, because what is he talking about?
I hope he left deciding yes. I pray to God that he gets a lawyer and goes up against Best Buy, the corporation.
You want him to lose.
He's going to spend more money on that fucking lawyer than he is going like trying to fix that laptop.
Yeah, he's just buying a laptop at that point. It's all about the message.
Yeah,
it's all about the message. You know, like he's trying to send a message. Man.
I guarantee you, like in another week from now, like I've been keeping this story in the front of my mind so that I could talk about it on the podcast. Yeah. A week from now, I'm gonna forget about it.
I
like
so.
That guy's unimportant.
Again, it goes back to the point. Everybody is an NPC.
Everybody's an NPC.
When you work retail, you do not. Your goal is to go, what do they need? And then you play a little game in your mind to be like, ooh, what do they need? And then you like figure it out and you sell it to them.
That's like the entirety of my job is just like asking like these questions, being like, how, what the fuck is the issue?
I think I've been brainwashed by like, do you ever play the like, like the cool math games, like restaurant games? I've been brainwashed by those to like, that's how I think about my work nowadays.
Oh yeah.
I go, what is their order?
Like Papa's Pizzeria or whatever it's called.
The Papa's Pizzeria games.
Yeah. I was going to look it up, but I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. I've been brainwashed by those games from a young age to just be a retail simp for people.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
We made a pretty good joke about that the other day because me and our buddies Ben and David, we wanted to go get food the other night at this Italian restaurant, and they had like really good pizza. I can't remember what the name of the place was called, but there was a guy. They had like a completely open kitchen, so you could see like them like making the bread, like kneading the bread and all that. Cool. It was really cool. And back there is a guy who has like this massive like Asus gaming laptop while he's like in the kitchen. And in my head, and David looks at me and goes, how much you want to bet he's playing Papa's Pizzeria back there? And that's how he's learning how to make the pizzas. And I was like, dude, that's 100% what he's doing.
Dude, oh my God.
He doesn't know how to make the pizza.
That's
and he's
the
like,
e-learning.
Yeah, that's
the online training you have to do for jobs like that.
Exactly.
Holy shit. That's crazy. Yeah. That guy probably had a ratatouille under his hat or something like that. Someone controlled him.
Yeah.
To 100%.
I mean, he doesn't know how to cook pizza. That's why he needs Papa's Pizzeria or Ratatouille to help him.
Oh my God. I'm going to tell you, I don't know if I've told you this story before.
Yeah.
When I worked at Roundtable, I was like on the tail end of my last day there. I was going to leave for college. I was never really going to come back and work there. I knew that for a fact. And this motherfucker rocks up to me and he's like being all rude. I don't even remember what he said. Like, this is how bad I feel about it now. But I literally straight up spit in his pizza. Like, I straight up spit in this guy's pizza, and I regret it, but not enough to like ever not talk about it. You know what I mean? Because I think it's so funny,
fucking
like,
awesome.
Because it's probably one of the worst things I've done to like a customer. Is like I spit. I mean, he
deserved it.
Well, the thing is, I don't remember what it was, but I very distinctly remember being like, oh man, I'm gonna fucking get him. Like, ooh,
dude,
like,
we better hope that our manager doesn't listen to this podcast. Dude. He's gonna like, you're gonna like spit on somebody's computer and then give it to them, sell it to them.
Dude, I'll spit on it before they get it back from Geek Squad.
That's so much. I mean, like, I don't even care if you would, because the amount of gross shit that we get at Geek Squad in terms of computer.
People are gross with their computer setups.
Dude, especially old people. I cannot express to you how much I hate the fact that old people just neglect to close their fucking tabs before they bring their computer in. And I'll open up their laptop and I'm like, this is disgusting. Please get this off the screen. Yes.
Wow.
Our buddy Vince, who works at Geek Squad, once I was in the back of the precinct, I was hanging out. Vince comes back and he goes, well, I just opened up that guy's laptop and he had Feet Finder open. So, I was like, dude,
I would sell feet pics, but I've never buy them.
He was like, he goes, yeah, he had Feet Finder open. And then I looked down at the keyboard and it just looked icky. And I was like, dude, it's so gross. I felt so bad.
That's like a golden star on old people discovering the internet. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
Like he wants to be a good noodle today. Like, he's like, I've learned something about the internet. Dude, that is disgusting. I don't even know what I would have done. I'd be like, should I clean this?
No,
like,
it's horrible.
Do you ever clean them? I would have cleaned it, I feel like.
Well, we do clean. I mean,
that's so gross.
Yeah, no, that is something that we do. Gross. But
that guy's messed up spiritually. Guaranteed.
100%.
There's something going on with like his shit. I don't even know.
There's definitely like an extent to what we will clean.
That makes sense.
Just because like there's some things that are just filthy and it's like, why? Sometimes I feel bad about the things that I check in for Miguel though, because I'll like check in a laptop not thinking about how gross it is, and then I'll like look at it again and be like, that's fucking disgusting. I'm like, I have to clean this before giving it to Miguel because it feels I feel mean having just like given him this piece of garbage. Essentially,
Miguel's spirit animal to me is Mufasa from The Lion King. I just I don't know. He just gives off such good vibes.
He is Big Monkey.
And Rafiki, the guy with like you know what I mean?
He would be dude, he might be Rafiki.
He hits fucking people over the head. That would be awesome.
That's like our whole running joke. I think we've talked about it before.
He's Rafiki?
Well, no, the running joke is that we're all monkeys at Geek Squad.
Yeah.
So he's our manager is God Monkey.
That's how they play Bloons Tower Defense out here.
He's Big Monkey because he's full-time precinct.
Yep.
Vince, since he's the full-time counter agent, is Chief Monkey.
I don't know how he does that, by the way.
I don't know how he does it either.
Psycho.
I don't know how he does it either. And then the rest of us who are part-timers are small monkeys.
Small monkeys.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're all small monkeys.
Are you okay? I'm gonna switch it up right here. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for the switch up.
So I just brought up spirit animals, right? Mm-hmm. Do you if you were to like decide what is your spirit animal, you gotta tell me what it is.
If I was to decide what my spirit animal is?
What's your spirit animal?
Sea otter.
A sea otter?
100%.
Is this something you've thought about?
Yeah.
How sea otter are you? Like what is like?
I mean,
what does that mean?
So I don't
understand it.
There's two very specific things that resonate with me about sea otters, which I love.
Okay.
One, I just think it's super sweet. I mean, obviously everybody knows this, but they hold hands so that
they
don't
do
drift
hold
apart.
Hands.
And I find
cute.
that, and that's like,
cute.
I feel like that resonates with me a lot because I'm a very big advocate of like physical touch. Like that's my love language. I'm big on hugs and like holding hands, especially if I'm like in a relationship.
Yeah, you're a big like, I get that.
But also they're just like, I mean, people are like, sea otters are smart because they'll like get shellfish or whatever, and then they'll like take rocks and like break it open.
Yeah, they're intelligent.
Yeah, no, they're intelligent. But the way that monkeys. I like to look at it is I'm like, funny animals smash things, and that's me. I just like to.
That's in your head. You're like, I'm like the tambourine monkey clapping in there. Like that kind of moment.
I just like to take things and break them. I'm like, whatever.
You're like, I guess that made sense.
That's my favorite part of day at work is when people are like, I want my data wiped and we're going to recycle the laptop. And I get to pull out their hard drive and smash it with a hammer.
That's crazy.
My favorite part of the day.
That's so wild.
It's awesome.
I don't know. That's crazy because I've just never really understood like the spirit animal thing. Like I understand spirituality in general.
Sure.
But like, or like in a vague sense. Right. but like, I don't know. I worked with this guy when I worked private security, and he told me he was a Wiccan, right? He was like, yep. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's essentially someone that's like very spiritual, like in touch with like nature's forces, and like very like
as a fucking earthbender.
Essentially, right? Essentially. And so he's like, I'm a Wiccan. I like can sense animals. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I was like, educate me.
Crazy.
And so when I worked with this guy, it was with private security, and it was a 10-hour overnight shift where we were just together overnight for 10 hours. And I just listened to this guy talk for like 8.5 of those hours. The other hour and a half, he was asleep. Because he was like, you're gonna stay up, right? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Oh, that's so crazy.
But like, I heard him talk about all this shit, and I was like, man, I need to go get me some crystals, like some rocks, like to get me. I have some. I don't know where my bag. Like, I'm not gonna go get them.
Yeah.
But I literally have these rocks in like there's a little box on my desk with rocks in it because I think they give me good energy now because this guy convinced me.
That's fair. How do you feel about astrology?
Like you thinking like Aries Leo shit?
Yeah. Like, do you not? I don't fuck with it. Like to me, that's kind of a red flag.
I think it's really.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider it a red flag. I would consider it more like, I think it's fine because it's hard to describe people's personalities vaguely. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's hard. Like if I were to vocalize like your personality as like anyone else's personality, right? It would be hard for me to describe that to someone. But astrology is simplifies it so easy.
I guess so.
If you associate it with it, it's like it's fine. I don't really care.
Like I feel like if somebody's like, "Oh, you're a Gemini," whatever, and they're like,
"Are you a Gemini?"
Yeah, I am a Gemini. Okay. So I feel like if somebody's like, "Oh, you're a Gemini," and then they like start describing things, I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." Like on a surface level, sure, like you can like astrology, but the second like people start getting into like the rising suns and moons and shit, I'm like, dog, what are we talking about?
So I'm not super deep in astrology, but I definitely think. I literally just had this conversation with my cousin, which is why I'm so like, I know it now, but like, I know how to put together my thoughts. But I really think that like, if there's people for astrology, what they did is like, oh, I like that star. I was born at the same time that star was in, or this collection of stars was there. And this is how I would describe it. Right. Like that's essentially the concept, but
that's crazy.
But I think that if there's really anything that affects when we were born, how we act in the future, it's the moon, dog. That thing is right there. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, like the moon affects the tides. The moon affects so much different things in terms of just the overall world. Like, why would it not affect us as human beings?
I guess so. Yeah.
Like that's kind of like where I think. Like, I think the moon stuff is fine, but I don't know very much about it, so there's a chance I'm just waffling out of my ass and it like doesn't make any actual sense.
There's a really good like meme out there somewhere where it's like somebody's like clearly doing a thing where it's like, oh, this Saturn energy is ruining my day, and then it like zooms in on Saturn, and Saturn's like, bro, who the fuck are you? And it's awesome. I love it so much because it's
Saturn does not care about.
Yeah, Saturn is like, I don't know who the fuck you are. What are you talking about? What do you mean I'm ruining your day, dog? I'm a planet. I'm existing. I got rings and shit.
The thing is, I know that I'm a Leo, and Leos are usually positively associated, so I honestly don't mind when people are like, I like astrology, and I'm like, yeah, I'm confident and brave and very cool, like my Leo says I am. But like, dude, I don't know anything else about it.
That's crazy. I mean, maybe that's why I hate astrology so much, because every time I tell somebody I'm a Gemini, they like are like, oh, so you're a bitch.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, see, and that's why I don't mind it. Like, my cousin's a Scorpio, and he was saying the same thing. He was like, do you know what I told him though? I was like, astrology. Oh my god, this is gonna make people mad, but it's fine. I was like, astrology is just as. I am just as confident in astrology as I am in the Harry Potter Hogwarts houses. I'm just as confident in both of those systems.
Okay, dude.
Like, is that like a weird thing? Is that like not like, okay? Because like people put a lot of stock in the Hogwarts houses.
Yeah,
man.
No,
like,
100%. I don't. I think, well, I mean, to be fair, I think like I got put in Hufflepuff and I was like, fuck Hufflepuff. Like, this is bullshit. I don't want to be in Hufflepuff.
Is that the Badger? What's their thingy? It's the Badger.
I think it is the Badger.
I just got confirmation from someone who knows.
Sorry, we have Badger. Our friend in the back of the room who's watching us do the podcast right now.
She's giving us smiles and laughs.
She's giving us smiles. Confirming. Yeah, you're here to confirm facts for us.
It's a Badger, right?
Okay.
But I'm a Ravenclaw. But see, that's how people react to astrology, though. You
For
know
our
what
audio
I mean?
listeners, love you guys to death. She just like gagged at the fact that he said he's a Ravenclaw.
Yeah, no, but like I'm a Ravenclaw. I don't know. I've taken the test a couple times, and like most recently, like when I played the Harry Potter game, I was a Ravenclaw.
Okay.
And so I'm a Ravenclaw or whatever. But I think that is just as like vague as astrology is, to where it's like the same conceptual for people like linking it to their personality.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're a Hufflepuff? Would you still consider yourself a Hufflepuff?
Dude, I don't even know.
Are you a Harry Potter fan? I guess I could have asked that
I'm a Harry Potter fan. I read all the books.
I haven't seen them all.
Really? I read all the books.
I have not seen them all. I read the first book, but I read it too late. And so like it didn't like latch on to me as a person.
I read all the
Jackson
books
though.
Really?
Those shits go hard.
I never read the Percy Jackson books.
Yeah.
But so I read the Harry Potter books and then I watched the movies.
Nice.
And I am a big fan of them. I never watched any of like the spinoffs. I never watched like
the Dumbledore ones.
Yeah, the Magnificent Beast or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that one. Yep. That's the one.
I never watched those, but I always thought Harry Potter was cool. But I couldn't tell you a single fucking thing about Hufflepuffs. I have no clue.
They're brave. They're loyal. They're probably very cool. They're funny. Yeah, they're like the comedic relief of Harry Potter.
Well, then I guess maybe I don't mind being a Hufflepuff.
Is that an oversimplification? I don't know.
Maybe I don't mind being a Hufflepuff.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Cool,
it's like
I think
they all have positive. They all have positive vibes associated with them. Like, why would you associate only negatives? But like Slytherin is that one where everyone's like, ooh, that's where all the bitches go.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how like a handful of like astrology things are. Like Scorpio, Gemini, like your immediate like conception is.
You might have just convinced me, actually. That's kind of crazy.
Isn't that weird?
I didn't think about it that way.
Like maybe it's like different amounts of truth. You know what I mean? Because one is completely fictional, other one is based in like real life things, right? But it's more so the way that people latch onto them as like their personality traits that is very similar.
Okay. Damn. I think you might have.
I just hit you with it.
Yeah. Yep. I'm pretty.
Smacked you with the knowledge stick.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. I gotta admit that was. I feel knowledgeable now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like the thing, right? It's just interesting. I don't know. It's like something that like I would just think about and would be able to rant about for like 45 minutes if I was high. Like I could go on about like spirit, like that kind of like concept of like personality adjustment forever. I think it's so interesting. I
don't know. So you know, I wanted to be a teacher for a long time. And
what subject? Did you already? Was it like younger kids? Sorry.
It was going to be high school English.
Okay. Ooh, English.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an English major, dude, which sucks because now all my jobs are getting phased out by AI writing papers and shit.
ChatGPT.
Love that, dude. I'm going to be.
Script us though.
Yeah.
I mean, they can if we give them enough resources.
By the way, guys, we're reading off a script right now. And I was very adamant on the whole.
Sorry, I'll let you finish and then I'll ask.
Yeah, no worries. I was very adamant on the whole. Like everybody comes into the classroom with a different backstory. Yeah. And that's like not my place to judge. Yeah, no, but like honestly. I feel like a lot of that is influenced by just like your upbringing and the experiences that you've had.
It's like 100%, 100%, and that's something that like I am like trying to be very cognizant of. I guess is the way to put it, right? Because it's not like I'm not trying to. It's not something that's gonna like. That because that fact in itself affects your day to day regardless, right? Yeah. But like in the classroom, being someone that's like a mentor, a teacher, especially at that developmental period, is crucial because you don't want to shut someone down and make them fucked for life. Yeah, like that's like a very real possibility. Yeah, that, like you could 100%. Do something to this kid and then they're emotionally destabilized
because you're like a big like at that point in their life, like even though you might not be like you're an influence on them.
Yeah, no matter what. And like that's what made because like you know right I want to be a high school teacher but like that's what made me want to be a part of that like system is because the system itself is so fucked like the system itself in terms of like lesson plans tailored learning even like special ed cases is still like something that is so fucked because it's like they don't get the resources that they need to really succeed and thrive as people in the society, right? It's like it's something that I've done a lot of research on and like try to be very knowledgeable on because it's I don't know. It's just like, I guess if you know more about it, you'll be a better human regardless.
Sure.
But even like in the classroom, it's that much more important. Yeah. Yeah. I get what you mean.
No, 100%. It's like I definitely, I mean, I don't want to be a teacher anymore. But mostly it was for like, it wasn't because I was like I don't give a fuck about the kids.
No, of course.
I was definitely like in my head, I was like, I'm not mentally like I need to care about my own mental health before I can
like that, like what we're
worry
talking
about the mental health of like 90 students.
Well, like what we're talking about is like the aspirational side of it. You know what I mean? In terms of like how you're affecting the next generation. Like 100%. That's the aspirational side. But there's the logistical side that is, do I know the content? Do I know what I'm teaching these kids? Are they actually passing my class? Am I actually teaching well? That's like the logistical side of it. That like it's past the aspirational side.
I think a big thing that I wanted to take into teaching was a lot of the way that my dad raised me.
Really?
Because it was,
Do you have like a specific example? I'm just curious. If you have like
100%. I mean, my dad has always been very like, a really good way that he put it, that I really like the analogy of, he's like, imagine you're a car driving on a freeway.
Okay.
He's like, I'm the guardrails. He's like, no matter what, eventually you're going to fuck up and you're going to like make a mistake. He's like, but that's why I'm there, because you're going to bounce off the guardrails and you're going to get back on track.
I love it.
He's like, I'm not there to be mad at you.
Yeah.
He's like, I might be disappointed at times, but regardless, it's not my place to judge you. And what my job is as your parent is to be understanding of the situation that you're in.
Yeah.
And help you develop a plan to get out of it.
Super reasonable. Like that's something very similar to like my dad's a very similar like notion in terms of like that specifically, where he's like, if you mess up, I'm here. Like I am that extra like bounce back that you need.
Yeah.
Do you want to have kids? Do you have like I know it's a hard question now, right? But
I had this conversation. I don't remember who I had the conversation with, but I think it was actually you. I had this conversation with some friends because I want to have kids, I think, but I want to have kids with the idea that I can raise them like my father raised me. But I'm worried because, like I said, the way that I am now was a result of so many things happening in my life outside of just my dad that like made me who I am.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that I'm a relatively good person, right? But I
would say so.
Thank you.
Second opinion.
Thank you. But I don't know that if I'd be able to raise my kids the same way that I was raised.
That's, dude. So again, it's something that I've thought about for a while, just because one, I want to be a teacher, and two, it's just like, if I'm getting existential and dead, this would be something that comes up.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I get what you mean. But I think I have come to the conclusion of I don't know. You can't peer into someone else's mind. And so if in your own mind, you're like, I am putting my best foot forward, I'm doing what I can, like that is the best. And as long as you're not like completely out of line, like doing something like that, I think that you can be pretty confident that like you're taking that correct step. Do you know what I mean?
That's fair.
Like, and like that. And again, kids are completely different because like that's like a long-term scenario.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh my God, I was going to eat nothing for breakfast, but I chose to eat something. Like that's a positive decision that you can very blatantly be like, oh yeah, wait, this is good for me.
Yeah.
Whereas like it's harder, it's more complex, but I don't know. I think that's how I like think about it. I don't know if I want to have kids.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Because as much as it's like I feel like I would enjoy being a father. I don't know. It's like it's just so out of my scope of vision that it's just not something I even want to do right now. So out of my scope.
100%. I mean, to be fair, like that's where I'm at too. Because I'm like financially fucking no chance I can.
Like,
in no capacity will I be able to support a kid in my 20s.
Oh, honestly, yeah.
Absolutely
in your
not.
20s,
yeah. There's no chance. If I have kids, it'll definitely have to be in my 30s.
Nah. You can do like meet the Robinsons move. You just put him on the horse.
True, dude. No, I'm not gonna do that.
No. That movie's good though.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I did have scientist. Or something.
True. That's true. He's kid genius.
Kid genius. He had gross hair. That's what my hair looked like when I was younger. It wasn't blonde, but like imagine brown and like 8 inches tall.
Yeah. I've thought about like whether I would want to have. I'm just like conscious of like how many people we have on the planet as well. So I'm like, do I really want to have my own kid, or regardless? Sorry, that's not what I meant. Do I want to have a biological child or do I want to adopt?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And because regardless, they're going to be my
I would
kid.
definitely like, what's the word? Like foster home? Yeah. I would do that, but I don't know if I'd like, because I think if I were to have kids, I don't know, this might be like weird, but I would like want them to be with the person that I care about. Like I'm going to like move that really like that forward with.
Yeah.
But if I just don't want to have kids, I would definitely do like a foster care home scenario where like I have like 8 kids in at the same time.
Yeah.
But, like just imagine how fucking silly every day would be. Like sometimes the days would
certainly a word to describe it.
Because like sometimes the days would suck.
Yeah,
like sometimes
100%.
they would be so awful because like most of the kids in the foster care system have a lot of like trauma and like past things.
100%.
But like I don't know, it's just another one of those things where it's like as long as you think you're being a positive influence in their life, that it's like you're doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Especially in that kind of scenario where like a lot of those kids don't have shit like that.
Yeah, no, totally.
So like I would definitely do a foster care home with like 8 different people and like pigs and dogs and shit, like a farmhouse or something.
Yeah, dude.
I think that would be fun.
Get a farm and like out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and it's like, well, hopefully not. Hopefully there's like a school there or something.
yeah.
I wouldn't homeschool, dude. What is your opinion on like home? Like when you were in like middle school and like a kid would like show up randomly and they're like, yeah, I was homeschooled for the first 6 years. Did you think they were weirdos?
Not necessarily. I did feel bad to a certain extent though, just because like I know my family, there are people in my family that have homeschooled their kids. And I just like I don't understand it personally.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Just because I feel like a big part of people's upbringings is having those social interactions.
Those interactions. Yeah.
And regardless of whether those are like good or bad situations, like if it or interactions, if like they're getting bullied or if they're like making friends, it's going to be so much easier to like learn those interactions from an early age and develop how to navigate those interactions as you grow up rather than be thrown into the fucking lion's den.
Because it's very obvious when people don't have those skills.
Yeah.
It's a very like obvious thing where you're like, oh, like they didn't have that right interaction when they were younger, which is like 9 times out of 10 they're fine and like they can do what they need to do and it's like is what it is. But like there's that like scenario to where it's like just fucked up enough to where it's like
you can tell like they haven't exactly. And
I definitely knew people like that.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I definitely I don't want to say I feel bad to a certain extent, but I just like I feel like I'm a little more caring towards those people.
You're
guess.
Like more aware of like
I'm
what
more
you're
aware
doing
of those people.
And around them.
Right. Yeah. So when I see those people that are like that just like haven't had those social interactions, I like to cater to them a little bit more and just like make them feel like they're included because that's important. Like that's really what they want. They just like want that inclusion.
Well,
I'm like,
I mean, like, right?
Realistically, it's just another person. Like just because they got homeschooled, like whatever.
Yeah.
I look at it the same way that I look at like race and gender and like everything else. We're just fucking people.
Little meat bags.
Yeah, dude.
Little meat bags.
There's zero reason to like discriminate or just like.
That's not what the world thinks.
Because people are a bunch of fucking.
I don't mean to be the Debbie Downer, but
no, I mean like it's. Oh God, I hate like some people, dude. I'll never understand it. Like how you can just hate somebody because they're a little bit different.
Just because there's an innate trait. That, like,
just because there's something a little bit different. Like what? Why?
It's like when people. I've like had this opinion for a long time. This is kind of moving away from like that, but it's like if somebody has a trait that is unchangeable, don't make fun of them. Like it's like, what are you doing? Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, hey, you're so stupid. You wear glasses. Stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can't see.
Yeah. Like fucking 4 eyes.
There's times where it's in jest and it's fine and it's just like haha banter. But there's like if you're like genuinely like just a spiteful person like doing that, it's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, there's no reason to.
No, but like obviously there's times where it's in jest, but like it's more so. Oh my God, you should, like I use the 4 eyes as a very soft example. But because I'm not gonna. That's mean, and I don't want to do it. But like I don't know. Like I when I was younger, I have really big ears. And I've been like, I've had people like made fun of. I like was made fun of. But when that happened, I literally just like fucking was like, like what the fuck about it? Like I was like, say that.
That's awesome, dude.
I was in like 3rd grade,
like,
so I didn't
what
say
about
that.
It, bitch? Fuck off.
I was like 3rd grade, so I didn't say shit like that. But like, come hit me on the 4 square court. Like, really,
dude.
Really take me up on this one.
Fucking square up, dude.
I was a fucking. I was a competitive child, and I'm like very much less competitive now.
That's super cool.
In certain aspects, but
there's definitely like I feel like I had a conversation with my parents about this somewhat recently, but it was one of those things where they were asking about one of my friends, and they recently had come out as non-binary.
Okay. Good for them, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. And so my parents were like, "Oh, how is he?" And I was like, "Actually, it's them. They recently came out as non-binary," and they were like, they just kind of had like some questions about it. They were definitely like interested.
It's just not something that they've been like,
not something that they're used to.
Yeah, that they've like interacted with.
Yeah, it was nice because I had this conversation where I was just like, "This is how they feel. This is the experience they've had."
Yeah.
And
this is why they're making this decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it felt nice because it was one of those things where it was just like, okay.
Yeah, it's just
they were like,
this is it now. Yeah, this is where we're at now. Nice.
And that was one of those things.
Like, what are you gonna go take a shit later? Like, what are we doing? Like I don't know. Like, it's one of those things.
It's very passive.
Yeah,
everybody's just a person, and like, there's no reason to disrespect somebody because of those. I mean, unless you're like a fucking serial killer, fuck those people. Like, die in a fire. You know what I'm saying?
There's a couple of groups of people that we won't name them off.
There's like a few groups of people that are just like, yeah.
There's a couple,
but
like, no, I get what you mean though. It's just one of those things where it's like people are doing whatever the fuck they want to do, and as long as it's like not obtrusive, like who gives a fuck? Like who really cares?
Who cares?
At least from like my perspective of someone that doesn't really represent a lot of those groups, I'm like, I will empower you to feel the way you want to feel.
Yeah. 100%.
And then I'm like, and then like past that, I'm like, we're going to go get some chili dogs later. Like, what are we doing?
Dude.
Like what's the
let's
move?
go fucking hang out.
Are we going to Sonic to get 50-cent corn dogs? Like, 100%. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. And I just, I'm very like similar in terms of like, it's not something I really experienced myself, but it's just one of those things where if it's important to this other person that their identity is that, and their identity is like who they want to be and feel comfortable being, it's like, why would you not just be encouraging on that?
And it's like they're being respectful to me, so there's no reason for me not to be respectful to them, you know?
Dude, I don't know, man. And fucking racism bad and crying.
Dude, oh my god, don't even get me started, dude. I can't like.
I'll go. Did you watch South Park as a kid? Because I just did like a little Mr. Mackey impression. Did you watch South Park? Speaking of racism.
What a fucking turn in subject. Speaking of racism, you watched South Park?
I was ready to get there. South Park was influential on my upbringing.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't watched a lot of South Park. I've definitely seen like some bits of it, but I haven't watched
I've watched so much South Park. South Park is, I'll say it again, was very essential in my upbringing. Very from like potent. 6th grade. It was South Park and World of Warcraft from 6th to like 8th grade. Okay. And that was just me. Like,
dude. That's awesome.
Like, that was just my world. Okay. For a while. Because my mom was just like, I was like, yeah, can I watch? I like started watching it casually. And mom was like, what are you watching? And I was like, I'm watching South Park. She goes, oh, it's like a cartoon, right? I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna put some headphones in, we're good. Like, don't even worry about it.
That's awesome.
They used to, or they might still do, but there was just free episodes online on like the South Park website. You could just watch a shit ton of episodes.
Really?
Up until like season 13. Yeah, it was cool. And so I would just watch a shit ton of South Park, play World of Warcraft, and then be sad. Because like, okay, imagine this, right?
Sure.
Junctions, powerful influences in your life in terms of like happiness and mental well-being.
Sure.
If one of them is South Park and the other one is World of Warcraft, that does not equal mental well-being.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you make a good point.
That's more so what I mean by that.
I feel like there was like a big divide. Like you were one of two kinds of people. Either you were a kid that played World of Warcraft or you were a kid that played Minecraft.
I didn't really. I played Minecraft, but I didn't play a lot of Minecraft.
Yeah, no, I was one of those kids that played a lot of Minecraft until I realized Terraria, which is the best game ever, and I was like, Minecraft is stupid. Terraria is better.
Minecraft is stupid.
Yeah, because Terraria is better. Infinitely.
Infinitely.
Yeah,
I've never played Terraria, so I have like a over zero kind of does not.
You're missing out on a good time,
dude. I got to do so much research to make that game work. Are you kidding me?
Dude, that's like I'm convinced you can't play that game without 2 monitors because you have to have the wiki on the other one.
Is that not, dude? That's not something I want to do. I don't know.
I love it. Are you kidding me?
Wait. Are you the kind of person to where if you get stuck on a puzzle in a game, do you look it up?
100%.
Okay, but like, what's your time frame?
What do you mean?
So if you're stuck on this puzzle and say it's been like 10 minutes. Is that long enough to look it up? How long does it take you to look it up?
It definitely, I would say that it takes me maybe like 30 minutes to look it up.
30 minutes?
Yeah, I definitely
Even if it's just like a little like timing slow puzzle like that you just can't figure out.
I'll try multiple times because I'm like, there's like either it's something that I'm like, it's a timing thing that I'm missing because I'm
there's
like,
just like some sort of disconnect somewhere in your
and I'm like, I just need to figure out where that disconnect is. Fair. Or it's something that is accessible in the game, like the knowledge for how to do it is accessible in the game, and I'm like, I need to find it.
Interesting. I look shit up so fast. I'm like 5 minutes and I'm done. Like,
really?
Yeah. Well, because I'm a big like story guy. So this is a really good. This isn't like a puzzle, but I was playing Persona 4. Sure. Right. That game is one of my favorite games of all time. Top 5 games of all time.
Top tier game.
And I might get some flack for this, but I hit a point to where I was under leveled for the dungeons I was doing, and I made it to where I can never die. I made it to where I get resurrected instantly after I die in every fight because I wanted to finish the story so bad, but I was under leveled, so I would have had to waste days to go back and level up. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
I'm far enough in to where I just want to finish it. I want it to be done. GA best girl, by the way. Like I just got to get that one out there. Yeah. GA, my number one. Yep. In Persona 4, my number one. Love GA, very cool. But yeah, I literally made it to where I could not die because I didn't want to keep dying. I was like, I just want to finish the game.
That's fair. There was, I kind of had like a similar point in Minecraft where I was like, it actually was really funny because
Minecraft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where like in Minecraft, I was like, I didn't know how to play the game. And so I just had like a dirt hut. And I was like, and it was like dark. I didn't know how to make like torches and shit. It was like dark. I was dying.
That game probably has a really steep learning curve.
And like, there would just be like mobs that would spawn in my base and start killing me. And then I just stopped playing Minecraft for like months. And then one day I came back to it and I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking do this.
Nice.
And you want to know what the difference was?
Tell me.
I just like turned on peaceful mode.
You just like learned how to play the game.
Holy shit. I was like, there's no mobs. I'm free to do anything.
That's fucking awesome.
And at that moment, I could hear like Wet Hands playing, like the song from Minecraft. And it was like bliss. I was like, you
were like, this is what this is?
This is the light at the end of the tunnel. I can just like mine and not worry about bad guys and make my cute little home with my dogs.
I was always so bad at building. I made like a foot-shaped house one time that was kind of cool. But like other than that, I haven't really made anything super interesting.
Okay.
I don't know. My brain doesn't like click in the 3D rendering of what's happening with the blocks.
Building
always looked like shit.
Building wasn't my big thing in Minecraft. I'm a big builder in Terraria. I love building in Terraria.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that game.
I feel like it's a little bit easier because it's
it's like 2D.
It's
right?
2D.
It's 2D and you have like the wall paneling on the back, which is kind of cool.
It's cool. You can definitely make a lot of really cool shit with it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I would not like. People are like Terraria's 2D Minecraft, and I'm like, they're not.
Do you have a top 3 games just off the top of your head?
Top 3 games of all time.
Give me story games.
Story games?
Would you have a list?
Dude, that's a good question.
Are you a good story gamer? I guess let me ask that first.
I like good story games, but I haven't played enough to a point where I think I can list good ones.
Really?
Yeah. Like I feel like if I were to list my top 3. People would be like, "You're a fucking moron."
Can you get it at me?
What's that?
I won't call you a moron. I promise. Madison might, but I won't call you a moron. She literally looked at you so disapprovingly when you said that. I won't call you a moron.
Top 3 story games. That's
just like generally, like you don't have to think about it that hard. Safe space, no judgment, except for after you say them.
Dude, do the Batman Arkham games count?
Those games are good. Okay, those games are fine. That's fine. Those games are fine.
I'm not gonna lie.
Tell me your favorite
of the Arkham games. Like as in all of them, I put Origins at the top story game that I played.
Did you play them in order? Like in order of release is what I mean.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
Great games. I put Origins at the top.
Okay, it's up there. Those games are so good. So fair.
I mean, yeah.
Base take. Give me a number 2.
Number 2. That's a good question. I'm trying to think of like what other story game. Oh, you know what? Actually, one of my favorite games that I still have like a lot of childhood memories from that I loved was the Paper Mario game on the Wii.
Oh, interesting.
I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me.
It's not Thousand Year Door, is it? That's like the one on the GameCube?
No. that was the one on the GameCube.
Yeah, I thought that was the one on the GameCube.
I'm going to look this up because I'm going to get pissed if I don't remember. Paper Mario
on the Wii. The only thing I remember from the Wii is Coconut Mall.
Okay, it was just called Super Paper Mario.
Oh, okay. Easy.
Yeah, love that game.
Okay.
Love the story. That was where like they introduced like Mr. L, and that was like Luigi's.
Mr. L?
Yeah, dude, Mr. L was like Luigi's like.
I've never played
dude, he was
game.
Luigi, but he wore like a black bandana and he was like evil. It was awesome.
Isn't that who Waluigi's supposed to be? They just
no, because Waluigi's purple, dude.
Why but why didn't they just put Waluigi in that like role?
Because Mr. L, dude.
You can like Mr. L. That's fine.
Mr. L's awesome.
Played the game,
anyway,
so.
And then at number 3,
order,
just because like I
obviously.
haven't played any other story games, I'd like Fallout 4.
That game's good though. That game like conceptually is good. I think New Vegas is better, but that game's conceptually
of course,
good.
like everybody says that, and like I would probably agree if I played the game.
You know what I mean? Like that's just a banger. Like,
I would agree if I played the game, but
you haven't played it?
No.
Oh, that's crazy. Are you gonna play Starfield?
No.
No, I'm not either.
I
don't think it's. I
read the reviews for it.
Good.
Yeah, I read the reviews for it, and people were like, "This is the most stable game that Bethesda has released." And I was
crazy.
like, "That's not saying a lot."
That's crazy.
I was like, because every Bethesda release has been kind of
especially
like a
in
nightmare.
recent times. It's
yeah,
awful.
dude, kind of been a nightmare.
Terrible.
Yeah,
that game was bad.
Yeah,
I can list mine so fast.
Yeah, go
ready?
For it.
The Kingdom Hearts series up there, got the tattoo and everything.
Yep.
Right. Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
Which is the MMO.
Yeah.
But I cried maybe 8 times during the whole of that story.
Dude,
I cried a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like one of the people that waited like 8 hours when the new expansion dropped to get in the game.
Wow.
Yeah. I was waiting. I'd be like, when the launch of the new expansion, I literally told my friend, I was like, Emmett, if you want, we can go to 7-Eleven because he asked me to go to the store. I was like, we can go to 7-Eleven, but it has to be shorter than 30 minutes so I don't get auto logged off on the game. I was vegged out of my chair.
Yeah.
For like, I would wake up early to make sure I'd get early in the queue so I could get in at like noon.
Damn,
and I could play until like 11 o'clock. And then
that's
I'd go to
crazy.
bed. Like it was a crazy time. Like that game's really good in my opinion. I would recommend anybody to play that game. Mm-hmm. It's free up until the Stormblood expansion, and it's a lot of hours, and it's really fun. So I like it. You should play it, and I really like it.
Okay, number 3.
Number 3 is probably Persona 4.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the Kingdom Hearts series because they're really nostalgic for me. Final Fantasy 14 just because that story is incredible, and I'm a big MMO guy anyways.
Yeah, sure.
And then Persona 4 is up there for sure.
Yeah.
And then like the Ratchet and Clank series is just fire.
Okay.
The music is so grooving.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. What's like your favorite genre of game, would you say?
It's got to be FPS at this point.
Really?
It's got to be multiplayer FPS.
That's fair.
Like as much as I like love playing story games, all of my time goes into Valorant, so it just doesn't matter.
That's fair.
Like it just doesn't matter.
I mean, I like FPS is definitely hold a special place in my heart just because, you know, I played a lot of Destiny. Yep. I played a lot of Destiny, played a lot of Black Ops 3, I'm playing a lot of Valorant more recently.
Valorant's still fun.
But
I'm brainwashing everyone to play Valorant.
Roguelikes and roguelites.
Oh, roguelikes. I've actually never really been a big fan of roguelikes.
Really?
I don't know why. They just don't tickle that part of my brain.
Dude.
It's not rewarding enough for me.
I have been thinking,
sounds
literally
awful.
after I go home, after we finish recording this episode, I think I might just like sit down and play Risk of Rain 2.
That game is fun.
Fantastic.
That game is fun.
Fantastic game.
I never played the first one, but
the first one is really good as well.
Roguelikes are cool. I don't know.
They're remaking the first one or remastering it, I guess I should say.
I don't know why, but they just have never like clicked in my brain in terms of like why they're good and fun, because like the gameplay itself is fun, but I get like sad when I have to be slow again.
Well, I think because it's just because it's ridiculous. Like the amount of like insane items that you can get that just do fucking ridiculous. Like you have great roguelikes roguelites like Hades.
That game's good. That game's fun too.
They're based around.
I've never beaten that game though.
They're based around Greek gods. You get your power ups, and they're like, you know, you have the power of Zeus whenever you dash. Really cool. You and then in Risk of Rain, it's like, whatever, you pick up a fucking ukulele and you electrocute everything that you touch. It's like what?
Yeah, you pick up like an adrenaline shot and you shoot faster.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is cool.
The power-ups that you get are so unique.
Do you play it on random? When my friends played it, like after it initially came out, they always put it on like you could select which item you get when item drops. And I think that's dumb.
I think that, I mean, that's definitely fun to a certain extent.
Like, takes away because like the build is cool, I guess, but like I think it takes away from like the point of the game, which is just to like create what you can on the fly.
I think the only time that situations like that are justified where you're like selecting the items you want is if you're selecting like a billion of one item.
Oh, that would be cool.
Like if you're like, I'm going to only get attack speed and you just get like 40 adrenaline shots.
Well, like that's what I would try to do. In, like,
it's so funny.
That's what I would try to do in my regular builds. I'm like, how silly can I make my guy right now?
Yeah.
Like how much can I make him? Because I would always play like the melee dude.
Loader?
Yeah, no. The
Mercenary.
like the ninja guy.
Mercenary.
Yeah, the mercenary. I was always playing mercenary, and I was like, how fast can I physically get my dash back and all of my cooldowns to where I'm just
dude,
just everywhere. I was like, that was my goal.
Mercenary is very 100% the coolest survivor.
The coolest? You think so?
Yep.
I haven't played them all, so I have no idea.
All of them are really cool.
I did like the robot guy. The guy who becomes like a little go-kart.
Yeah, multi.
Yeah, that was also one of my go-tos.
Yeah, he's sick, dude.
Because I thought his gun was really fun to shoot.
Yeah. No, the gun was really cool. There's a lot that you could do with him as well, where like since he has like the little chain gun or the nail gun, and you could get a lot of attack speed stuff with that and like chaining effects. I just like that game in general.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, it's just like it's one of those things that like isn't really scratched in like the gaming world. Like, that's why Baldur's Gate is popping off right now. That game is super, super cool, but there's just nothing else like it in the world. Or not in the world, but like there's nothing else like that right now in the market.
Yeah.
And so it's popping off.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible. And then that's another really good story-driven game that most people might not play because it's story-driven. Mm-hmm. There's so many, like my friend Ben, he literally told me this one time and I was like, dude, you're crazy. But he said, he was like, I don't see any point to playing a single player game. Like, why would I not play a game that I can't prove that I'm better than someone else at? And I was like, that's crazy. He might not have said it like that, but that's essentially, that's how I remember it.
That I can prove that I'm better than
like
someone.
He might not have said it like that. Sure, but he was like, why would I play a game that doesn't have a competitive aspect to it? And like he's only played multiplayer games. I was like, I get where you're coming from like the competitive itch side.
Yeah.
But also there's just such rich stories going on in the world and like so many gaming worlds that it's like, how can you not when Last of Us popped off?
Yeah.
Like that really drew attention to the story of games.
Yeah, I forgot I would put Last of Us in my top 3. Actually. I forgot. Oh, I haven't seen the show.
I'm not spoilered on anything.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go and play it at some point.
Top tier game.
But it costs $60 now. So like who knows what I'm
top tier game. 100%.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
I definitely understand that competitive itch just because like I feel like that's my toxic trait. I was talking with Madison about this last night. Trait is that I see people do stuff in video games, like in multiplayer video games, and I'm like, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do that. I've been playing Smash Bros. And I watched one competitive player play Bowser, and I was like, I could do that. And so I've been playing Bowser, and we hung out last night, Madison and I, and we played a bunch. She beat me every time, and I was like, this is fucking stupid. And then we played Mario Kart, and she beat me every time, and I was like, I don't want to fucking play it. This is dumb.
Dude, like I get that, though, because like definitely Valorant and like fighting games are like, because I've always wanted to be good at fighting games. I'm just not good at them. Yeah. I'm going to play with the new Mortal Kombat when it comes out.
Yeah.
I played the new Street Fighter 6 when it came out. I'm just not good at them. I have been playing them for years at this point. But when I watch competitive fighting games, I go, that is a feeling that looks crazy.
Yeah.
To be able to do shit like that, especially like with a crowd, I'm like, holy fuck. If I could be a pro esports gamer, I would drop everything to do it in a heartbeat. I would move to LA. I'd say hi, and I would leave everybody, and I would go move to LA.
Dude, would you leave me? Would you leave the podcast?
I would. Hopefully, I would bring people with me.
Okay.
I've said this before. If I ever win the lottery, I'm putting gamer houses throughout the nation.
Dude, fuck yeah, dude.
Literally
that's awesome.
The nation. I'm gonna give each of my friends one gamer house to pilot, and then we can all like meet up at them at like different points of time. I think that'd be so sick.
Dude, that would be sick.
No, I want to try to coach a premier team for Valorant this year.
Dude, you were telling me about that. I think that'd be super cool.
Because I don't think I'm good enough to go pro, but I think I'm good enough at understanding.
You have like the
conceptual
knowledge and the awareness of the game.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's just like a new thing. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Like I've casted, like I've done a bunch of other stuff. Like, why not try?
You have a good voice for casting.
I appreciate it. I want to go back and cast. It's so hard to like, because you just have to do it for free.
Yeah.
And so you get like 8 hours out of your day where you're doing like a handful of like warm up stuff with the staff, and you're like getting people together, and you're like, hey, we're going to start this at 2. The intro is going to be on you guys. We're going to pivot when we tell you.
Yeah.
All this stuff. And you're like getting all this information for the first like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then I had to do research on teams that were in the bracket, and I had to like make sure I knew that like what they were playing and like who their pop off players were, who I wanted to talk about. And it was just a lot of fucking research to not get paid to do it. And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I would do it for the pro scene, but you don't start there. You don't start there.
You don't start
it's
there.
always like it's a come up for literally anything you do. You know what I mean? But
there's a lot more research that goes into it than you think, which
is
really funny.
Like it's like I almost, when Valorant first came out, I literally almost dedicated everything to learning the game so I could be someone in the scene.
That'd be cool. That's where I was at with Destiny,
I got
dude.
really, really close to like dedicating like ungodly amounts, because I was already dedicating so much time to it. And I was like, why would I not try to like be a personality in the scene if I could? Because I think that would be so fun. Like it would be such a fun experience to just be part of like the competitive side and like all of that stuff.
I feel like we talked about this a little bit, but that's where I was at with Destiny.
Yeah.
Because there was a certain moment where in like my whole streaming career where I had gained like a lot pretty good following,
pretty good traction.
Yeah, pretty good traction. I had like enough of a social media presence, and through connections of like just meeting other friends, I just ended up meeting like a lot of really cool people and like bigger names. One name in particular that was like super potent at the time, and then it turns out he was a racist piece of shit and he got exposed. And
good thing he got exposed.
Yeah, but at the time, this guy named Hush, really, really popular PvP YouTuber for Destiny.
Don't check him out. He's racist.
Yeah, don't check him out. Well, he deleted everything.
Oh, really? It was like that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did not have the
but
context.
I got like invited into his clan. I hung out with him. Him and I made a video together.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was like I was like, holy shit. I was like, I'm like meeting like these people that I looked up to.
That's the cool part about that is it's like, especially if you're like starting after the scene's like pre-established. Yeah. You're going in and you're like, wow, like this person I followed for like, there's one of the casters in Valorant that I've been following for like 7 years.
Yeah.
Like I watched them in Overwatch and now I watch them in Valorant and I watch a lot of their side content.
Yeah.
And it's like, it would be like those, like that person is like inspiring to me in the scene because they do so much cool stuff. Yeah. Within the scene, which is just awesome. Yeah. I don't know. I think it would be cool to be like a part of that somewhere. Yeah. Just in anything.
And just be like recognized.
I don't know if we even just talked about this, but like even on the last episode, but I would love to start a business. I would love to start a business with people I care about in a field I care about. Because that would be such a passion driven project, right? Like, and like that's really what would drive me forward is like as long as like I am still passionate about like the business itself, because I'm not passionate about Best Buy. Who gives a fuck about Best Buy? Yeah. Right. But like if I was like I love you, Best Buy.
I mean, listen, if we're being honest, it's just like a job. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like we just
Best Buy is no one's forever home unless they got stuck there. Yeah. Not stuck. Stuck is the wrong word. Best Buy is no one's forever home in the state that we're in now.
Sure.
Right. Like maybe if I was like 28 and I'm just now like getting in these positions, I'd be like, okay, this is something I could do for like 10 more years.
Yeah.
But like I just have bigger aspirations than Best Buy.
I hear you.
And like that's just how a lot of people are.
Yeah.
And I think it's fine. You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing it yet. So I mean, like, here I am. But
in terms of like your actual aspirations.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that there's like a lot of things that I could do. And like that could be more fun. So I want to do those first before I kind of fall back on something like a retail position.
That makes sense.
So
there's like not a day goes by that I'm like, man, what would happen if I just like kept streaming? If I just like
cool.
Yeah, sorry, we were reading a message.
I don't have good eyes.
It's okay.
They don't see.
What would like there's not a day goes by that I'm like, oh man, I would love to come back to streaming, because I would. I like I had a great community. I loved the people that I interacted with, but at the same time, I just need to prioritize my mental health.
Yeah, which is like something that's very fair. Sorry, I was like going to go back to like astrology and be like, the stars didn't align for your mental. It would have been so wrong and just like terrible.
Stars didn't align, dude. You're depressed.
That's what I'm saying. It would have been so wrong and terrible that I just didn't.
I would have lost it, dude. It is okay. That's really funny. Stars didn't align, man, and that's why like you're depressed and shit.
I mean, some people probably say that, to be honest.
That's kind of crazy to me.
Some people probably say that, taking it full circle.
Like, dog, get your brain chemicals are messed up. Get some drugs in you, man.
Nah. I'll just like drink some apple cider vinegar and call it good. Really cleanse myself.
Yeah, cleanse the soul. Yeah. Okay.
Dude, have you ever, so there's this like bathtub for your feet that you can put your feet in. And it like cleans your feet really gross. My grandpa had one of these, and it like you put them in like this really weird water with like soap, and it excretes this like terrible, awful smell. I'm so sorry for like bringing this up.
What the hell?
But it was just a core memory that I was like, this is awful, because it's like I would do it, and like it'd feel like like, oh my god, have you seen the videos of like people getting like piranhas eating their feet to get the dry skin off?
What? Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Some people put their feet in like fish tanks of like fish that eat skin, and it eats all their dead skin, and then they pull it out, and then they have like baby skin.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. It's a symbiotic relationship.
That's
I'm
crazy.
The fish, they're cleaning my feet. I've never done it, by the way, but like I've seen like
that just
shows.
sounds insane.
I know iCarly talked about it on iCarly. So, I mean, that was cool. I remember that.
I love that, dude. That's fucking awesome. I think we're coming up on an hour here.
I don't know where the time frame's at,
dude. The time has flown. I feel like every time we talk, it's the time definitely flies by pretty fast. Yeah, it's always a good time. Time flies
when you're having fun.
It does. It does.
Oh, those are the piranha fishies?
Oh, we're looking at holy shit.
JS, would you do that with me?
Absolutely not. Actually, well, yeah, maybe.
Would you? Okay.
I would do it with you for an episode.
Just in general?
Yeah.
I would go get a pedicure with you.
I got a pedicure. I got a pedicure and I hated it. I'm not doing it ever again. It's the worst. They stabbed my fucking foot.
If we're coming up on the hour,
yeah, it's coming up on the hour. Thank you guys so much for listening. Those of you who are on Spotify, be sure to check out our videos on YouTube. And those of you who are watching on YouTube, be sure to go check out our Spotify. Big shout out to Pengu Kim for doing the design for our logo, and Reflexes for doing our music. Guys, if there is any topics that you want us to check out or possibly discuss on the podcast, be sure to email us at mindmeldthepodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's mindmeldthepodcast@gmail.com. We'll scroll through them, see if anything catches our eye, and maybe we'll talk about it, give you a little shout out.
We also have a Twitter now, or an X.
We do.
Go check it out. I'm about to post bangers. I'm actually really excited.
Mason's going to shit post on the Twitter, so be sure to go check that out as well. I'm not sure the @ off the top of my head, but
we'll find it. We'll shout it out next time. But
thank you guys so much for listening.
Have fun.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Yep. Have fun. Be nice to each other. Bye.